This right here is the most cracked content acquisition system on the fucking internet right now. And I'm saying that with full confidence because this isn't just some random theory I've pulled out of my arse. This is a content-led acquisition model built to turn identity, positioning, audience data, and proven content into inbound lead generation. And I've used this exact framework to generate 2 lots of 50K months from a half-restricted Instagram account. So no, this isn't one of those videos where I just waffle for 10 minutes about content and give you a couple of surface level tips. This right here, this is the full system, the full mechanism, the exact structure that takes somebody from completely cold, doesn't have a fucking clue who you are, to close through content in under 7 days. And the biggest misconception people have, and I used to think this too, is that if they just post more content, they'll make more money. They think that if they post twice a day, 3 times a day, 5 times a day, sometimes even 10 times a day, then more people will magically want to buy from them. And the truth is, that's not fucking true. It's not about posting more content, it's about posting the right content for the right person at the right stage of awareness and moving them from unaware to closed as fast as possible. And that's exactly what this does. This system is designed to take somebody from doesn't have a fucking clue who you are, doesn't care who you are, doesn't even know they have a problem, and move them to a closed client in roughly 7 days on a rolling weekly basis. And before we get into this, I want to make this clear. This isn't for beginners with no offer, no audience, or no fucking clue. This is for people who already have a personal brand, already post content, already have some sort of audience or attention, already have a skill or a service to offer, but they're not making the money they know they should be from it. You may be making 5K, 10K, 15K, 20K, 30K a month, but you know there's a big gap between where you are now and what your content should actually be producing. So what I'm gonna be doing in this video is break down the 5 stages of the system: the brand foundation, the audience intelligence, the content engineering, the conversion infrastructure, and then scale. And then you'll understand why most people don't have a content problem, they have a system problem. So let's break this down. The first stage is your brand foundation. And this is where most people already fuck it because they start posting before they've even worked out what their personal brand is supposed to do. So in here, the first thing we look at is the outcome definition. What is the actual outcome of your personal brand? What is your brand designed to achieve? What's the revenue model? Is it high ticket? Is it a digital product? Is it a hybrid? What are you actually selling? What's the end result for your audience? Because if that's not clear, everything after this gets messy. Then we go into perception control. How do you actually want to be seen online? Do you want people to see you as an authority, relatable, aspirational? What's your tone? What's your delivery? What's your energy? Because whether you realize it or not, people are forming opinions on your brand instantly. And if you don't control that, you just end up sounding like everybody fucking else on the market. Then we go into your personal brand positioning and angle. Is your brand built around your skill, your story, your journey, or is it a hybrid of all 3? But then what actually makes you different? And why the fuck should people even listen to you? Why should they buy from you instead of the other 500 people in your niche posting the exact same recycled shite every day? That's what this stage solves. And if you look over here on the left, this is what most people do. They post without knowing the outcome, they copy content styles without understanding perception, and they have no clear brand angle. So what happens? Their content blends in. But what do we do instead? We build the outcome first. We then control the perception and then lock in the angle. So then your content becomes intentional from every single piece of content you post from now and here on out. And the result of phase 1 is simple. You have clear positioning, you have an aligned content direction, and your audience actually knows exactly who you are. And this is a really important point, because most people think content starts with ideas. It doesn't. It starts with clarity. If you don't know what your brand is supposed to do, who you are online, and how you want to be seen, there's no amount of posting that's gonna save you. So moving on to stage 2, we have your audience intelligence. And this is where everything starts getting dangerous, because this right here is where we stop talking in theory and we start using real collected data. So first, we extract their pain points. What are their biggest frustrations? What have they tried and failed before? What keeps them up at night? What keeps coming up over and over again? Then we go into desire mapping, right? What do they actually want? Not just the surface level shit, like more money, more freedom, more time. I mean, what do they actually want? What does the money actually give them? What does the freedom actually solve? What is the lifestyle outcome? What's the identity outcome? And then we go into the most important part of this entire system, their awareness levels. And this is where most people don't have a clue what they're even doing. Are they unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, or most aware? Because somebody who doesn't even know they have a problem needs completely different content to somebody who already knows they need help and is nearly ready to buy. Then we have language and data capture. We look at your comments, DMs, sales calls. That one's fucking powerful. objections, frequently asked questions, their actual words, their actual opinions, the actual resistance they have before buying. And then all of that data gets fed into the audience data engine. And that's where we get hooks, content angles, messaging, offer positioning, objection handling. Now, this is where I can come off the board and actually show you something more serious. Now, this is where we go through the dashboard, because this isn't just some nice looking concept. We literally track this. We've extracted data from closed calls and unclosed calls. We've analysed prospects. We've broken down close rates, revenue, call length, prospect profiles, demographics, financials, psychographics, core motivations, pain points, frequently asked questions, objection patterns, closer notes, call by call analysis, literally everything. And this is the bit that most people completely overlook. They stay surface level. They say, my audience wants more money. My audience wants more freedom. My audience wants to work online. Yeah, no shit. But what does that actually mean? Does freedom mean they want to support their parents? Does money mean they want to get out of a housing crisis? Does success mean they're sick of feeling like a robot in a job they hate? Did they miss family milestones? Are they supporting aging parents? Are they in a long distance relationship? Have they had a death of a loved one that's completely changed how they've seen life? This is the level that moves people, and this is the level that separates somebody with a few thousand followers making serious fucking money from somebody with millions of followers making absolutely fuck all. Because once you understand what's really driving them, what's really fucking keeping them up at night, your content stops sounding generic and it starts speaking to their exact pain points and their exact desires. And this is why every single person we work with gets their own custom dashboard from day one. The second they're onboarded, they get it. They start extracting their data into it from previous calls, from DMs, from their offer, from their results, from what they've already built. And every single week, more data gets added. So you're constantly refining, constantly adjusting, constantly staying on top of what's actually happening in your market and staying ahead of it. And then every 2 weeks, we sit down on a one-to-one and break down what's working, what's not working, what needs adjusting, what data comes in, and what direction the content should move in next. That's why this works, because it's not random. It's driven by real information, not by what you feel like posting that day. And this is why people with 2,000 followers make more than people with 2 million, because we have the data that you don't. Then we move into stage 3, which is our content engineering. And this is the most cracked part of it all. And this is where we turn that exact data into content that actually does something to your audience. So first, we look at the content types. Top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel. Then we line that up with the exact awareness map, right? Unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, most aware. Then we bring in the viral format source, or the high performance reel source in, right? I don't like the word viral. We're not here to go viral. So now we're not just pulling content ideas out of thin air. We're taking proven viral videos from creators already in your niche, from people they want to show up like, from people you want to show up like, from people I want to show up like, from people that have strong personal brands, from videos that are already high performing, and we extract them, we transcribe them, we break down why they worked, we section them out into top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, and the different stages of awareness. And we bring all of that into the exact system. Now this is where one of the biggest pieces comes in, the master prompt. And no, obviously I'm not just gonna give you that for free, because this is one of the biggest leverage points of the entire thing. The master prompt is what tells AI everything it needs to know about your offer, your story, your audience, your results, how it works, your tone, your delivery, your energy, your brand angle, and what makes you different. It literally questions and extracts the right information from you. So instead of using basic AI prompts, writing generic content that sounds like every other cunt online, AI is now writing from your story, your positioning, your audience, your offer, your data, and your proof. And that right there, that's a completely different level. And then that feeds into the 30-day content system. So now every single post is structured. Every single day has a role. You're not waking up wondering what to post, you know, because the weekly cycle repeats every 30 days. One day might be authority, one day might be story, one day might be value, proof, perspective shift, soft conversion, a story plus a lesson. Every single piece of content has intent. Every piece is designed to move somebody through the 7-day rolling cycle. And this is a massive selling point as well, because once this is set up properly, it takes me less than an hour a week to film content around this strategy. Less than an hour, because the thinking is already done. The structure's already done. The data's already told us what to make. And this is where most people go wrong. What do? They guess what to post. They follow trends blindly. They post with no intent, no structure, or no funnel. But what do we do instead? We use proven formats. We align content with the awareness level. We build a system that converts over and over and over again. So again, this isn't just content strategy. This is engineered content designed to take a lead from cold to closed in roughly 7 days. And this isn't theory, boys. Let me just pull up one ad account. This is almost £16,000 in spend from VSL funnels, different structures, different offers, and nothing is pulling in the kind of returns that this system is right here. And I'll get into that in a few minutes. So stage 4, right? We move into the conversion infrastructure. And this is where the content starts turning into actual money. So first, we have the profile positioning. We have a clear who I help, what result I get, and why they should even trust you. Then we have the entry point mechanics, the comment triggers, the DM keywords, the CTAs, not spammy ones, not forced ones, intentional ones. Then we have the value asset, right? The VSL engine, a long form breakdown, just like the one you're watching right now. Something that shows the full system. It builds belief, it explains the mechanism, filters serious people, and does 95% of the selling for you before they've ever sent you a single message. Just how you feel right now. I could already sense it. And then we have the lead flow system. They come through the content, into the profile, into the DMs or your WhatsApp. They're pre-qualified through the asset or through a conversation with one of your setting teams, and then they're sent straight to a call and straight to close if it makes sense. And then you get the client acquisition outcome, consistent inbound leads, higher quality prospects, and a predictable sales system. And this is another big shift people need to understand. Most people think they need a new funnel, a new landing page, even a new fucking business coach or a consultant to restructure their entire back end. No, you need the front end sorted. Because if your content does 90% of the selling, everything else gets easier. You don't need more complexity. You need your content, your profile, and your lead flow all pointing in the same direction. And that's what this stage does. So stage number 5 is we scale it. And this is where we pour fuel onto the fire. And this is where the profile visit ads come in. And this is another place where people get it wrong. They think ads are supposed to fix the business. They're not. Ads amplify what already works. So once your content system's working, once your profile's positioned, once the leads flow's in place, then we scale it. We send traffic to the profile, not some dead page, not some clunky old school funnel, to your actual profile where the whole system is already aligned. And this is where the numbers get silly. You've seen the ROAS, you've seen the spend, you've seen the followers, you've seen the revenue. And I know all of this works because we track it. Everything gets tracked. And this is why people with less followers than you have more money than you, because they know their numbers. And then on top of that, you've got the proof. Sam, 9K to 22K in his first month. Lewis, 25K to 65K. Alfie, 8K to 8K. Gino, 0 to 11. And the mad part is, boys, these aren't even people who have the full system. They don't even have the client dashboard. They don't even have the full system built for them, the way that a proper client would. They don't have the full implementation. That's just from me showing them bits of the thinking behind it. So imagine what happens when this is actually built properly around you. When you've got the dashboard, the master prompt, the full audit, the fortnightly one-to-one calls, the ongoing adjustments, the real data feeding the system every single week. That's where it gets dangerous. So this is it, boys. This is the full system. 5 stages: brand foundation, audience intelligence, content engineering, conversion infrastructure. And once you actually see it broken down like this, you realize something. You don't need to post more. You don't need a new niche. You don't need a new offer. And you don't need a new audience. And you don't need some 20 grand consultant to rebuild your entire business. You need data, you need structure. You need a content acquisition system that tells you every single piece of content exactly what it's supposed to do. Because when that's in place, you stop relying on luck. You stop posting like everybody else. You stop using ChatGPT to script your videos. You stop waking up what to post. You stop stressing if your video doesn't do numbers. Because you know the role of every single piece of content. You know what's working, you know what's not, you know what to do next, and more importantly, you know how to turn content into inbound leads. So if you want help actually building this out properly, where we set up your dashboard, help you extract the right data, give you the master prompt, help you engineer the content, audit what's working every 2 weeks, and build this around your brand from day one, then message me system on Instagram and I'll show you exactly how we implement it. That's the full breakdown. And now you know exactly how this works. And guess what, boys? I got you here through this system. Now think about where you are after watching this. Do you feel like closing before you've even spoken to me? There's your answer, boys. If you don't, fair play. If you do, message me on Instagram. We'll get you signed up. And every single thing I've walked you through can be implemented from today. Hope this one helped, boys. I'll see you in the next one.